Hello and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show tonight. So Thursday Night Live is brought to you by the Institute of Applied Energetics, where you can learn how to become a medical intuitive, energy medicine practitioner, or intuitive counselor. And you can find out more information as well as download your free Jumpstart Your Intuition guide from Applied Energetics Institute. .com. That's appliedenergeticsinstitute.com. So if anyone's heard me on the radio, not, here doing this show, hang on one setting. I'm going to make myself be beautiful again, beautifuler. There we go. If anyone's heard me do a radio interview and they asked for me to share my story, I always talk about the influences, the early childhood influences that brought me into this field in the first place. And one of them was the amazing Kreskin. And yesterday, the amazing Kreskin passed away, which was like, but I want to share this with you. So this is my 1973 autograph picture of the amazing Kreskin, where it says especially Kreskin on it. And I just remember as a kid watching that show and just being fascinated by his use of his mental powers to do like psychic stuff on people. And a number of years ago, I hate to say this, but it's been like 10, 12 years ago, he was actually performing in the Dallas area. And I got tickets, and I tried to get front row tickets, and I had front row tickets, and I got bumped to a second row, but still I was right up front. And part of his shtick was that he always took people from the audience and brought them up on stage and, did stuff. He did stuff. You got to pick a card or got to do this or got to do that. Okay, so you guys know me well enough, and I'm just going to say this. I did my best let's make a deal impression in that front row. And I was just like, oh. All right, I'm being kind. I was like freaking going crazy. And I got to go up on stage. And then he did an autograph signing, and I got to actually meet him and talk to him in person. And for me, it was a total bucket list item. So rest in peace, the amazing Kreskin, because you will always, in my mind, be amazing. That really wasn't my topic for tonight, but my topic for tonight was a little on the short side. And this is terrible, but I actually went on YouTube to look to see if there were other people talking about this topic, because I didn't want to bring it up to find that this video got deleted. So, but it's there, so I can talk about it. And if you don't really pay attention to what's going on in the news or what's going on Facebook or whatever, but there has been this whole thing of, and I'm air quoting, of drone sightings, primarily where they're talking about is over New Jersey, where, people will be outside and 5 drones will appear, and they're popping up all over the place. Some have been over a military installation, some over Trump's golf course that's in New Jersey. But this has been going on for over a month. And it's interesting because a couple of weeks before, there was all of this talk about there's supposed to be the aliens were supposed to let themselves be known to us and whatever. And after that day came and went, it was, this giant nothing burger, but now we have all of these drones. But the part that's the most interesting, and that I want to bring up and point out, is, and I'm going to say it this way, is kind of the level of gaslighting that we're getting from our government. Okay, so we have these unidentified craft flying around. It's not just one, there's a bunch of them. And some of them are identified as being as big as an SUV. Okay, so it's as big as a car flying around. So it's not like my drone or your drone that you got off of Amazon that you're flying around kind of thing. These suckers are big and obviously must be very expensive. But the party line says that they don't really know what they are. The FBI doesn't know what they are. Homeland Security doesn't know what they are. They won't shoot them down. They won't do anything about it. They don't know if they're from foreign countries. They don't know if they're domestic or, some advanced technology that like Lockheed Martin is developing and they're testing it out. They won't say anything about it. But in the same breath, they say, but there's no national security risk and there's no danger to anybody here. And it's like, well, how do you know there's no danger? And how do you know it's not a national security risk if you don't even know what the heck it is? Now, I think they know what the heck it is and they just don't really want to talk about it or share that piece of information with anybody. But that's just my opinion, and just don't take me off of YouTube for that. So it's just something that I find fascinating. And so if you haven't been following it and you want to see an example of gaslighting up close and personal, then follow this story, because it's fascinating of what they're saying. How can you say they're safe if you don't know what it is? And it's been a month and no one's really, we're investigating. I'm sorry, but if I had something the size of a car flying around over my property or flying around my state, if I was a government official, I would maybe be a bit concerned about what that is and why it is there. And especially if it is from foreign governments, China, Iran, Russia, who the heck knows? And they're doing surveillance like the giant balloon that flew across the country that they wouldn't shoot down because it wasn't bothering anybody, but they really didn't know what it did. And then when they finally did shoot it down, we never heard what was going on with it. Did it have cameras on it? Was there surveillance footage on there? We never heard the story. We never got the answer to that story. And so again, if you're not following the story, I find it very interesting to watch the underbelly and the working of our government, at least at this point in time. Hopefully, in 40 days or whatever, all of that will change and there'll be more transparency as to what's going on in our world, and we don't get gaslighted so much. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. It's kind of short today, but I just wanted to bring that up because I just watch the TV or see people's posts about it and shake my head going, what the heck? Anyway, that's the spiel for today. So even though that's not psychic reading or not even anything potentially psychic, if there are things going on in your life and you would like for me to help you move through them, whether it's a health related issue, a relationship situation, something going on at work, you're finding that you're emotionally triggered, you're dealing with narcissistic abuse or trauma related issues, please visit my webpage, soulhealer.com, and set up a time for a private consultation. If you are watching this show all right, so this show airs live on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. The easiest way to interact in the chat and get a free on-air reading is by going to the YouTube page, which is Just Energy Radio on YouTube. That's Just Energy Radio on YouTube, and clicking the live link at 7 p.m. Central. But it also, you can also see copies of it on BitChute, and there's a couple of other ones. But again, the easiest place to join us is at Just Energy Radio on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to go through and say hi. And if there are people that ask for readings, and you guys, you're starting to get tricky on me because you're coming in early and going, oh, I'd like a reading. It's like, God, can't even like say hi first. Anyway, if you are new to the show, please, if you want to interact with me, you want me to read your post, you want me to post your information on the screen, please do type in all capital letters so I can see, I can recognize that that's a communication directly to me. Okay. So Master Player was here really early, and I have to tell you, his timestamp was 6:01, like an hour early. But I really appreciate you, even though I'm giving you like a bad time. Good evening, Master Player. What did he say? As long as I have a number 1, I'm good. Okay, Master Player, I guess you're number 1. And yeah, you're number 1. So what was that? That was timestamp 6:34. You guys are going to start getting here at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's going to be a line set up, and I can sell like Dr. Rita Louise gear and drinks and maybe some nachos or tacos, have a little food cart. That'd be good. All right, so Master Player number 1 for you. Let's see. Okay. All right, and that's the card that came up for you today. So Master Player, this is really kind of interesting. It's like I am detecting, and the word I'm going to use is this nervousness in your space. Almost like you're not quite sure what to do. I'm really sensing it in your stomach area, the third chakra area, like you're not sure where to put your energy and a hesitancy of moving forward. I want to say that that's just fear. And so just, sometimes if you just acknowledge the discomfort, if you acknowledge like, wow, this is making me feel uncomfortable, it makes it so that you can just move through it. I mean, sometimes when you just recognize I'm scared, you can go, okay, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I hope that helps. All right. Hi, ERRT Radio. And right there, he would like a reading number 3, please. Okay, ERRT Radio number 3. Okay, and that's your card for today. Okay, so I get the impression that there is, and I'm going to say, a decision that you're working on making. I want to validate you because you've taken the decision and you brought it into your heart. And I feel like you are in the process of weighing out the good and the bad of what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like with this decision, with this choice that you're making, that you should give it a little bit of time. I feel like, okay, so what I'm getting is if you try to push it forward, you're really not going to get the heartfelt answer that you're looking for. So just breathe into it and allow the answer to come to you. It will come, but I feel like you just need to be patient with the process because all the information, all of the data isn't there yet. Okay? Okay. Christine. Hi, Christine. I would like a reading number 2, please. Okay. All righty. Uh-oh, Christine. You got a mass card. So for anyone new, these mass cards mean that there's an energy that's blocked, that you don't want to look at, that there's some issue going on. And I'm just going to pull cards till I feel like it clears. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm actually going to go with this one, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so Christine, there was this card and this card, which is usually a good card, but I'm just not feeling like that's the answer. And then this card, and then this card. And then this is the one that I feel like the shift comes up under. And, you know, so I don't know if this has to do with like physical work. Well, I mean, I feel like it has to do with work, but like job work or some other work that you're working on. What they're sharing with me is that you just kind of need to grin and bear it right now, not for forever. I feel like it's going to shift again and it will be better and be tolerable. But I feel like whatever you're working on now, it just sucks, you know? And the more you just look at the sucky part versus taking that and moving it out of the way and saying, you know, I'm just going to plow through this, you'll be stuck. And there'll be that energy sitting there and you'll want to procrastinate and it won't get done. And then it gets bigger in your mind. And I feel like if you just sit there and just take your angst out of it and just move forward with it, you'll get through it a lot faster than you thought was going to happen in the first place. I hope that makes sense. And you guys, you know, when I give you a reading, and I say this every week, and if it's resonating with you, you know, I'd love to get feedback from you. Also, you know, you could send me a little something, something, read soulhealer.com/live and leave me a little something, something in the tip jar. I'd really appreciate that. Okay. So, all right, I can't read that name. Singing. Hi, Singing. So I'm going to read your thing about you have inflammation going on, you know, but this is not the format of readings that I'm doing during this show. And if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me by going to Soul Healer, why did I do that? By going to soulhealer.com, which is my website, I would be more than happy to take a look at that for you in a one-on-one consultation. Stop it. Okay. Now I totally lost my place. Okay. Marco, upvoted. Rita, your hair and lips are amazing. You know, Marco, my hair looks pretty good. All right, it came out really good today and it's getting done tomorrow and I haven't really been liking it, but for some reason it came out really nice. So I'm good with it. Hi, Yvonne. EERT Radio says, Dr. Rita, we love your guidance. Thank you, EERT. Hey, Bradley. All right, Don, you're here. Could I get a reading? Number 1. But Don, you weren't the first one today. What's with that? Okay, and you would like a number 1. Okay, number 1. Okay, that's your card for today. So, Don, I'm just sensing some, and I'm going to say annoyance around you. You know, I just feel like the image you keep showing me is like, oh, get out of here, get out of my way, get out of my face. I feel like, you know, like you just want to be with your own energy. I feel like your sensitivity to what's going on around you, your empathic ability is increasing. And so having, and I'm going to say discordant energy around you has become more uncomfortable. And I feel like it was really uncomfortable today. Again, this is not where you are for forever. But I feel like having that turn on and turn up is kind of a good thing, you know, so acknowledge it and recognize it. maybe you can use that as a learning tool as to, wow, I was feeling the energy around me, and this is what it felt like inside. Because once you can, as we keep talking about on the show, become more mindful of what your energy feels like, and what your energy feels like when it's being affected by the energy around you, that's always a great thing. Always a great thing. So good job, Don. Okay, Yvonne. And she would like a reading number 3. All right, Yvonne, that's your card for today. It's actually kind of interesting because I feel like on the outside, that sounds good. On the outside, you're having like this really good, I'm in control, kind of big energy. But on the inside, it's almost like you're feeling like you're faking it. That there's questions and self-doubt about who you are. It's a very interesting dynamic. And all right, so I'm going to respond to what I'm seeing in a story. So obviously my webpage is soulhealer.com. And when I purchased that domain, so I decided that my business name was going to be Body, Mind, and Soul Healer. And when I came up with that business name, and thus the domain soulhealer.com, it felt like it was too big for me. Like I didn't live up to that name. But after a while, I grew into it, and it became me, and I feel like the same for you, Yvonne. So don't feel bad. You will grow into this new energy, this new dynamic of yourself. Okay? Very cool. All right. Hi, Trisha. How are you? Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. All right. So Yvonne says, I remember Kreskin. It's interesting because I was flipping channels, and like a Johnny Carson rerun came up, and the amazing Kreskin was his guest. So I had to watch it because it was Kreskin. So Unar is here. Hi, Unar. Good evening, Dr. Rita. So glad to be here tonight. May I have a reading, please? I remember him. Sad. R.I.P. number 1. Thank you. Yeah, it is sad. I mean, there are a lot of people that thought he was already dead. I mean, he was 98. And actually, in all the years that I had followed him, and I never looked it up, and I found out what his real name was. It was George Joseph Kreskin. I just called him like his first name was The Amazing. And on his Facebook page, he was T.A. Kreskin, The Amazing Kreskin. Anyway. Okay, so Unar, that's your card for tonight. So Unar, so the impression I'm getting is that, and I'm going to use this word, that you feel discouraged, that someone said something or somebody did something. I mean, there was the hurtful part, but that was also kind of invalidating to who you are and what you've done and what you've accomplished. And my comment back to you is, screw them. be you and be the best you can be. Because a lot of times when people do stuff like that, it's because they're jealous and they just have to have something to say to kind of knock your energy down to promote and punch up their energy or their potential standing in a group of people. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so you guys, so I'm going to call you out, ERRT Radio, and Don, you're typing in all caps, and now I'm not going to read that on air. So if you're talking to me, all caps. If you're just like chit-chatting, lowercase. See, like Veronica, she did all lowercase, but she says, love your hairs. And it's like, but I have to read that because it's my hair. Okay. Hi, Veronica. All right. Unar said, heard drones all over the world, not just USA. That's correct. Yesterday, I heard, I mean, this is still the US, that there were drones seen over southern Oklahoma. I just saw a report where there was one seen in New Orleans, but they have been seen all around the world. And what's interesting, okay, so this adds to my whole thing. So this one friend of mine was kind of cataloging them. You know, whenever he would find a new report, he would post a link to the video on Facebook. And I was doing an interview yesterday, kind of talking about these drones and wanted to research where they were sighted and how many and just get some data. And the bulk of the videos were taken down, and not by him. It was the original videos were taken down. So I thought that was a little clandestine for those who don't trust our government all that much. But yes, very much so. All right, I am like so pushing the wrong buttons here. Turn that off. Thank you. All right. Okay. Veronica says, rumor is there's ship offshore. Do they make large enough military drones? They know, just lying. You know, there was some senator, congressman that claimed that the Iranians had a mothership off the coast and they were releasing these drones. But I think that's been proven to be not true. But they did talk about some drones being seen offshore. So why didn't they shoot them down? I can see, you know, you're over a residential area. You don't want to shoot down something the size of a car and not know where it lands. But if it's over the water, why not shoot it down there? It's not going to hurt anybody. Anyway, the whole thing is weird. Hi, Miss Amy. Would love a reading today, too, please. You're so welcome. Here you go. Okay, Amy. Ooh, good card today. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. So, Amy, I just get the impression that you've really been in creativity mode, set the intention mode. You know, I feel like you've been working on where do I need to move in the future. You know, like one of the things that I like to do right around this time of the year is to kind of put out, this is what I want to do next year. This is what my intention for next year. And Amy, I feel like you're kind of in that same place that you are kind of working through this stuff. I'm not feeling like there's action going to be happening right now, but more kind of this like general master plan that you are putting together for next year. And based on the card, it has a lot of really good energy on it. I feel like you're addressing the process from allowing the universe to move through you place versus having your ego push you forward. So good job. Keep that up. Okay, and Veronica would like a reading. We sure can. Oh, one. Okay, just one. All right, Veronica, and this is your card for today. So Raylan's on the table, or on the chair on the table, and now he's looking at me. I shouldn't have said his name because now I'll be over here wanting stuff. Okay, Veronica. God, I gotta love my friends. Okay, so I feel like things have been going pretty good in the general sense of the word, but then there's this little piece of you like sitting right over here in the background going, okay, but now what? And just waiting. Not really bad. I think it could be way worse than this, but this little inkling, like waiting for it to end, waiting for the other shoe to fall. What I would like for you, I would like to suggest is for you to just breathe in the calmness and breathe in the joy and breathe in the ability to be in the present moment that you're having now and enjoy this moment and not worry about a moment that might happen down the road, and just let that go for now, because it's not now and you don't need to create that and bring that into your reality. Okay? So I'm guessing this is a typo. Marco says, I fly drones or Rita's house. I'm guessing he means at my house. Maybe. And he thinks that my hair is super awesome. Thank you, Marco. Hi, Drusilla. Nice seeing you tonight. And she would like a number 3. All right, Drusilla. Oh, my hands just don't really want to work. And that's your card for today. Interesting. So one of the things that you're showing me, and I without really spending time, I'm not going to look at what led up to this, but I feel like you've kind of wiped your slate clean. I feel like there is this new surface for you to start creating on. I feel like, when I kind of go back and look at where it wasn't really working. And I feel like you're not wanting to bring that other energy, those other ideas, whatever, forward with you, at least not in a generic way. And I feel like you're really being open to allowing the universe to say, okay, it needs this, and okay, it needs this, and having that be the thing that moves you forward. But what I like the most is that it's this just very clear field for you right now. So good. Okay, so Joe said on tonight's news, other states are reporting same, often over military bases. Yeah, and that's the part that doesn't make any sense. So it's over a military base, but we don't know what they are. And wouldn't that be kind of a national defense issue-ish to me? Okay. So Joe says number 3. Number 3 for Joe. right, Joe, let's see. All right. And that's your card for today. We're getting like uplifting cards today. This is really nice. All right. So, Joe, oh, I know how to say it. I get the impression, and I'm going to say it this way, that there's a lot of drama going on, excuse me, going on around you that doesn't have anything to do with you. And all of that is just like interpersonal crap going on. And I feel like you've just kind of pulled your energy back. I feel like you're just like standing in the corner watching all of this happen and unfold. If that's not a normal place for you and positioning where normally you would kind of get in the middle of it, good job, because I feel like you're really in observer mode. And if somebody asks you for something, you're considering it. But I also feel like you're employing boundaries in the whole situation and not just giving up your energy willy-nilly. So good job, especially with that observer mode, because I feel like it protects your energy from being affected by everyone and everything going on around you. So again, if these readings are resonating with you, please do leave me a comment. You can leave me a little something in the tip jar, soulhealer.com/live. It's always appreciated. So Veronica said, could not get on YouTube. Don't know what that is. Unar says, it's creepy to think it could be all over the world. Imagine that. Well, see, that's the part, they're saying they're not UFOs, but it's kind of like, but nobody knows what they are, which really is the definition of a UFO, unidentified flying object. And why would there be drones everywhere? I mean, I could see if they were spying on the United States where they would send drones over the United States. But why would you have them be over Ukraine? And why would you have them be in Iran? And why would you have them be in South America? Why? It doesn't make any sense. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. Whoa, it's Debbie Wolf. Hey, Debbie. Hi, Rita. Love you. Can I get a reading? Yes, the drones are strange. Yes, they are. Okay, so Debbie, usually people pick a number, and I'm feeling like a number 2 for you, so I'm just going to give you a 2. I hope that's okay. It is so nice seeing you. Okay, and that's your card for today. So Debbie, this is interesting. I feel like there is something that you've been working on, and I'm going to say creating internally, like a new project, a new thing that you want to do. I feel like there's a lot of energy behind it, wanting to push it forward, but you're having, and the best way I can describe it is confusion as to how to take it from this thought place and this internalized place and have it manifest out into the physical world. What they're sharing with me to share with you is ask, what do I need to do today? What can I do today? What can I do this week? I feel like you have all of these pieces and you're trying to send it through in a completed one lump form. And that's not working. It's too big. It's too big to have the universe manifest. But ask, break it down into smaller parts. What do I need to do today? What do I need to do next? What's the best thing for me to work on now? And it will guide you through the unfolding process of having this thing come into your reality. Okay, girl? Now I want to know what it is. All right. Wow, I got everybody here. Hey, Cheryl. Okay, so Cheryl, as I just said to Deb, people usually get a number. I'm getting a number 3 for you. So you're getting a 3. Ha, ha, ha. Here, well, wait a minute. It's an angel drone. Sorry. I'm just weird sometimes. Okay, I don't remember. I'm just going to start over for 3. Okay. All right, and that's your card for today. So Cheryl, I'm just getting the impression that there's something happened. I'm going to say today that was really kind of irritating to you. It was irritating. And you just want to like strangle the person or whatever. You know, and I just want to, okay, so I love you to death, and, you know, I just am real, and I just say what comes up for me. But I feel like this is almost a triggered place for you, and I would love for you to maybe, I'm planting a seed, maybe start to become aware of how often you find yourself in this kind of irritated and annoyed place, because maybe you don't want to go there. Maybe it's something that you want to change and not be so vulnerable, so influenced by what's going on around you. And, you know, they can be idiots, and you can go, okay, they're idiots, and then just move on. But the first step is just starting to raise your awareness about, you know, this concept of, oh, I'm feeling irritated again. You know, and then a couple of days later, oh, I'm feeling irritated again, because I'll bet there is some piece of that is getting triggered, that is activating your stress response system. And the way to change it is to identify it and then come to a different realization after. So I hope that helps. I hope you'll still talk to me after that one. Okay, let's see. Well, see, Cheryl says 3 for me, please. Ha, ha, ha. I already got 3. That's because I'm psychic. Like the amazing Chris King. ERT Radio says, thank you. Master Player says, thank you once again, Rita, for the reading. Master Player says, I need people to start taking no for an answer and not no is a yes. I'm feeling you. Hi, Denise Smith. How are you? Christine says, thank you. It makes sense, as I'm currently fighting a discrimination case at a job, and I haven't been to work in a few weeks, but I'm still an employee. Well, I hope you're still getting paid too. That would be cool. Okay, so I have to read this. Bobby, that's good. Rita says you might be nervous. I was kidding about, that. Hi, Miss Debbie Gillette. We got like the girl club here tonight. All right. So Dawn says, thank you. And yes, again, you were on target. Love, Dawn. So Yvonne says, I was doing the outside show, but got the flu and had to a complete meltdown. Thanks, Rita. You're welcome. All right. So, Debbie, I already gave you a reading because I just gave you your own number. All right. So, Mike says, you may remember that I've been dealing with long COVID exhaustion. Recently, I discovered by changing that chance that taking NyQuil is helping me immensely. Also, Dayquil in the morning helps. And I'm already making something for energy. And yes, I talked to doctors about dosage. Any idea why NyQuil would help me so much? Okay, nursey ladies that are in the audience there. You know me, I'm not a medical, not medical in that kind of way. I mean, my thought would be, you know, that it's antihistamine. You know, I think NyQuil has a certain amount of like alcohol, and it might be calming down your nervous system. But anybody have any thoughts about the NyQuil in particular? That's really interesting, that it would help calm him down. All right, let's see. All right, Veronica says makes sense. Amy said the reading was exactly where I am. I do believe the universe will work through me and for me. Thank you so much. Tip is in the jar. Thank you, Amy, for supporting me in the show and going to soulhealer.com/live and leaving me a little something in the tip jar. I really appreciate it. Okay. Drusilla says, thank you. I've been working on a clear slate, moving forward, being positive. And Drusilla, you're doing a great job. I mean, it was literally like a plane of nothing. And so if that's what you've been working on, you're doing really good. And Marco said, I love when Rita goes into trance, but it's not really trance. I'm just kind of accessing somewhere else. Hi, Lady Spitfire. I think you're a new name here. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. And I'm looking at the clock. If you would like a reading, just put I would like a reading and a number from 1 to 3, which is the amount of times I'll shuffle the cards. And you'll get a reading if there's time. Okay, let's see. Mark. Hey, Mark. How's it going? Nice to see you again. Okay, so Lady Spitfire says, can I have a card also? So Lady Spitfire, I'm going to do your reading. I'm going to give you a number 1 shuffle and do your reading. If I can get them to shuffle. All right, this one's not. There we go. There we go. All right. And that's your card for today. Okay, so this is just really kind of odd. What's coming through. I mean, not odd, but I feel like there is some very old energy that you have been hanging on to for absolutely no reason. I feel like you have been doing a great job in moving and growing and kind of filling out yourself and who you are. And what they're suggesting to me is that it is time to do some pruning, to cut some of that out of your life, you know, and it might be people that you're interacting with. It might be some old emotional stuff that no longer is serving you. But I feel like there is stuff in your world. I'm just going to be more generic in your world that is no longer serving you. And the biggest thing is, you know it, but you're not doing anything about it. And what is being suggested to me is that it is time to cut it and get rid of it. The new year's coming and it's time to plant a new bed and move forward into this new energy. Okay, I hope that helps and makes sense. And if it does, please leave a comment below. Hi, Karen. It is nice to see you. Okay, and she would like a number 3. All right, Karen. And that's your card for today. Getting a weird glare on it. Okay, so this has a relationshipy feel to it, but it could be anybody. But I feel like there is someone around you that is really like trying to push themselves on you to like coerce you into doing something and making you feel a certain way or do a certain thing. And I feel like it's really leaving you feel uncomfortable. And when we feel uncomfortable inside, it is always, always, always an indication that our boundaries are being crossed, and it is something that we don't want and that we don't need, and we don't. No, no, no. And I feel like you have not said no. You have not told this person or situation to back off. And there's no need for you to walk around feeling uncomfortable that way. I feel like this would be a kind of a new thing for you to just push it away and put that boundary up. But it would be great practice for you to do that. It would be good in your personal growth and personal development, because it sucks feeling bad on the inside because somebody, you're trying to make somebody else feel comfortable. It's like, no, you should feel comfortable. And if they're making you feel uncomfortable, again, your boundary is being crossed. Acknowledge your boundary is being crossed and love and honor yourself to sit there and stop it by saying no. Okay. All right, so Lady Spitfire doesn't know, but I picked for you, so ha ha ha. And Debbie said, that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. And Joe said, thanks, Rita. Accurate as usual. I've had to pull back because being an empath, it was deeply affecting me. From my only friend here, feeling a lot of people stuff. All right. Debbie says, you're hilarious. I'm so glad I made it. But Debbie, I'm like this all the time, except you just get me all by myself, by myself. Okay, and just, oh, that wasn't for me. Okay, turn that off. All right, so Don says, could all of these drones are a pre-invasion thing going on, some kind? I don't know. I mean, I don't like the clandestineness of the media. I have to tell you, when they came out and said, there are these drones over New Jersey, my first thought was, well, they have to call them drones, because if they said, oh, they were UFOs, that wouldn't fly on the news, so drones sound better. And what's interesting is that when you look on YouTube or search on Google or whatever, they only talk about the ones in New Jersey. And every so often you'll find an article about someplace else, but it's New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey. And it had the feeling to me that it had been scrubbed. How's that? So I don't really know what's going on. My little spidey sense, and you know how good that is saying there's something bigger and deeper going on that they are so not talking about. And, and in 4 years, we might actually find out. Okay. Okay, so Debbie said antihistamine in it. See, so I was right. That was kind of what I was thinking, but I wanted to get a little more medical piece. Okay, let's see. Mike says, thanks. All right. Lady Spitfire says, I've been talking about cleaning out an unused bedroom, finally, clutter. That'll work. And then Marco says, Rita's hair has such bounce. Point on, Rita. I'm dealing with clutter in home. I need to let it go of it. Let all of it go. Then let all of it go. Well, I got to the bottom of the list and it's just in time. Just in time. Marco says, do that again. Idiot. Anyway, so before I go, again, you know, if your reading was great and you want to send me a little something, something, soulhealer.com/live. There's a link directly to PayPal where you can leave a tip, or you can go through my shopping cart and use like a Visa or MasterCard. I would really appreciate it if you would follow me at my different social media accounts. So like if you're watching on YouTube, you obviously know it's Just Energy Radio on YouTube, but please like and subscribe to the channel. I would just really appreciate that, you know, especially giving it thumbs up or putting comments in. On Facebook, I'm Dr. Rita Louise -live, and I post a lot of stuff on there. On Rumble, I'm Psychic Doc. On BitChute, I'm Dr. Rita Louise, and on Twitter, where I've been posting a lot of stuff as well, Dr. Rita Louise on Twitter or X. And again, if you'd like to schedule a private consultation, please go to my webpage, soulhealer.com. That's soulhealer.com. So guys, we're done for today. I had a great time with you, and I will see you all next week. All right, hang on one second. I wanted to look at, so the Christmas holiday show is the day after Christmas, and so I will be doing a show that day. And hang on, really, you don't need to bark. And after New Year's. And so I won't be taking a Christmas break because it's not a holiday day like Thanksgiving was. So anyway, till next time, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.